Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances, all gracious Srila Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to today's Bhagavatam class, actually Chaitanya Charitamrita class. We are going to be discussing from chapter 5, Adi Lila, chapter 5, verses 42 through 51. It's a lot of verses to catch up. And the topic is going to be on the glories of Lord Nityananda Balaram. We're very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and Srila Prabhupada Maharaj.
Thank you. Glories to Prabhupada. My obeisances to all the devotees.
And it's all yours, Maharaj.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vinda Tanha Ye Ramane Rupam Mahasankarshana Chit Shakti Asrara Tinho Karaneya Karana. There in the spiritual sky, the personal feature of Balaram called Maha Sankarshana is the shelter of the spiritual energy. He is the primary cause, the cause of all causes. Chit Shakti Bilasa Eka Sudha Sattva Nama Sudha Sattva Maya Yata Vaikunta Di Dhamma. One variety of the pastimes of the spiritual energy is described as pure goodness, Vishuddha Sattva. It comprises all the abodes of Vaikuntha. Sad Vidaishwara Tanha Sakala Chinmaya Sankarshanera Vibhuti Sabha Janiha Nischaya. The 6 attributes are all spiritual. Know for certain that they are all manifestations of the opulence of Sankarshana. So Sankarshana is an expansion of Lord Balaram. This is the second Sankarshana that expands from the Chaturvyuha. So now we're getting a little idea of the process of creation. So this preliminary statements here is introducing us into the process of creation. Jivanam tata sakya eka shakti hoya mahasankarshana sabe jivera asraya. There is one marginal potency known as the jiva. Mahasankarshan is the shelter of all jivas. So we are that marginal potency known as jiva shakti, and we find our shelter in Mahasankarshana. Yaha Haite Vishvapati Yanhata Pralaya Se Purusheva Se Purusera Sankarshana Samasraya. Sankarshana is the original shelter of the Purusha, from whom the world is created and in whom it is dissolved. So they call it talking about Mahasankarshan now. Okay. Sarvasraya Sarvabhuta Aishvaryar Apara Ananta Kahite Nara Mahima Yanhara. He, Sankarshana, is the shelter of everything. He is wonderful in every respect, and his opulences are infinite. Even Ananta cannot describe his glory. So Ananta is an expansion of Sankarshana. He's the multi-headed snake at the bottom of the universes which hold up all of the universes on his head. Sankarsana is the original feature in the absolute realm of creation known as the Guru Tattva, which is Lord Balaram. Turiya Visuddha Sattva Sankarshan Nama Tinho Yantra Amsa Se Nityananda Rama. That Sankarshan, who is a transcendental pure goodness, is an impartial expansion of Nityananda Balaram. So now we're seeing the connection with Sankarshan to his original existence as an expansion of Nityananda. Astama Sokera Kaila Sankshepe Vivarana Navana Slokera Artha Suna Divyamana. I have briefly explained the 8th verse. Now, please listen with attention as I explain the 9th verse. Maya Bharata Jana Sangasrayaga. Maya Bharata Janda Sangasrayaga. Seta Shakta Karna Bodhi Madhye. Maya Bharata Janda Sangasrayaga. Sete Sakse Karanam Bodhi Madhye. Let's see. Maya Bhatarjanana Sangha Susayangam Sete Saksa Karanam Bodhi Madhye Sanyaika Kamsa Sripavam Adidevas. Maya Bhartajana Sangasrayagam Sete Shaksadkaram Bodhi Madhye Yasyaika Kamsa Sri Pumam Adi Devas Tam Nityananda Ramam Papadye. I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose partial representation called Karanak Daksai Vishnu, lying in the ocean of the Karana, is the original Purusha, the master of the illusionary energy and the shelter of all the universes. This refers to Mahavishnu. Okay, verse 51. Vaikuntha Bahira Ye Jyoti Mayadam Tanhara Bahire Karanarva Nam. Outside the Vaikuntha planets is the impersonal Brahman effulgence. Beyond that effulgence is the Karna ocean or causal ocean. I get a little structure of the universe now. The impersonal glowing effulgence known as impersonal Brahman is the outer space of the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky. Beyond that impersonal Brahman is the great causal ocean, which lies between material and spiritual skies. The material nature is a byproduct of this causal ocean. Karanadakshay Vishnu, who lies on the causal ocean, creates the universes merely by glancing upon material nature. Therefore, Krishna personally has nothing to do with the material creation. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that the Lord glances over material nature, and thus she produces the many material universes. Neither Krishna in Goloka nor Narayan in Vaikuntha come directly in contact with the material creation. They are completely aloof from the material energy. It is the function of Mahasankarshan in the form of Karanodaksayi Vishnu to glance over the material creation which is situated beyond the limits of the causal ocean. Material nature is connected with the personality of Godhead by his glance over her and nothing more. It is said that she is impregnated by the energy of his glance. The material energy Maya never touches the causal ocean, for the Lord's glance focuses upon her from a great distance away. The glancing power of the Lord agitates the entire cosmic energy. and thus its actions begin at once. This indicates that matter, however powerful she may be, has no power by herself. Her activity begins by the grace of the Lord, and the entire cosmic creation is manifested in a systematic way. So here's an example. The example of a woman's conception can help us understand this subject to a certain extent. The mother is passive, but the father puts his energy within the mother, and thus she conceives. She supplies the ingredients for the birth of the child in the womb. Similarly, the Lord activates material nature, which then supplies the ingredients for the cosmic. So here is transcendental sex life. So the Lord glances, that glance impregnates material energy, which is in a dormant state. It activates her. She applies the ingredients. And then once the ingredients are separated, and then the Maya energy appears, and then Brahma, under the influence of, under the directions of the Lord, takes those different energies, which are now broken up into eight: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, along with the jivas who have been thrown into that mix, along with with Lord Shiva, who is the father of living entities, and then gradually creation starts to manifest. So it's very interesting how things actually happen. Material nature has two different phases. The aspect called pradhan supplies the material ingredients for cosmic development. The aspect called Maya causes the manifestation of her ingredients, which are temporary, like foam in the ocean. In reality, temporary manifestations of material nature are originally caused by the spiritual glance of the Lord. The personality of Godhead is the direct or remote cause of creation, and material nature is the indirect or immediate cause. So here, this is important. So Krishna is behind all of the activities of material nature, and he initiates all this through his different energies. And then material nature acts. The scientists, material scientists, puffed up by magical changes their so-called inventions have brought about, cannot see the real potency of Godhead behind matter. Therefore, the jugglery of science is gradually leading people to a godless civilization at the cost of the goal of human life. Having missed the goal of life, materialists run after self-sufficiency, not knowing that material nature is already self-sufficient by the grace of God. Thus creating a colossal hoax in the name of civilization. They create an imbalance in the natural self-sufficiency of material nature. To think of material nature as all in all, not knowing the original cause, is ignorance. Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to dissipate this darkness of ignorance by igniting the spark of spiritual life that can, by his causeless mercy, enlighten the entire world. To explain how Maya acts by Krishna's power, the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita gives the example of an iron rod in fire. Although the rod is not fire, it becomes red hot and acts just like fire itself. Similarly, all the actions and reactions of material nature are not actually the work of material nature. Try to understand that. You're seeing material nature acting, but behind is material nature is like the puppet, and then those who are pulling the strings of the puppet, that is the Supreme Lord through his different energies. But the actions, reactions of the energy of the Supreme manifest through matter. So matter is simply dead, but given life by the power of the Lord through his energies. The power of electricity is transmitted through the medium of copper, but this doesn't mean that copper is electricity. The power doesn't. What is that saying? Is that the activities of material nature seem to be producing life, but actually, no, they're simply the medium for the Lord to bring in life and not the cause of life. Similarly, in the same way, copper is not electricity, but it's the conductor by which electricity moves. The power is generated at a powerhouse under the control of an expert living being. Similarly, behind all of the jugglery of material nature's laws is the great living being who is the person like the mechanical engineer in the powerhouse. It is by his intelligence that the entire cosmic creation moves in the systematic way. The modes of nature which directly cause material actions are also originated activity by Narayan. As a simple example will explain how this is so. This is interesting. See, Prabhupada is using a lot of examples to help us understand. Try to understand. When a potter manufactures a pot from clay, the potter's wheels, his tools, and clay are the immediate cause of the pot. But the potter is the chief cause. Similarly, Narayan is the chief cause of all material creations, and the material energy supplies the ingredients of matter. Therefore, without Narayan, all the other causes are useless, just as a potter's wheel and tool are useless without the potter himself. Since material scientists ignore the personality of Godhead, it is as if they were concerned with the potter's wheel and its rotation, the potter's tools, and the ingredients for the pot, but have no knowledge of the potter himself. Therefore, modern science has created an imperfect, godless civilization that is in gross ignorance of the ultimate cause. Scientific advancement should have a great goal. Scientific advancement should have a great goal to attain, and that great goal should be the personality of Godhead. If you keep doing that, you keep disturbing my attention. Just don't do that. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that after conducting research for many, many births, great men of knowledge who stress the importance of experimental thought can know the personality of Godhead, who is the cause of all causes. When one knows him perfectly, one surrenders unto him and thus becomes a great soul, Mahatma. Umagyan Timidandasya Gana Jana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravane Pajarine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Desatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Pevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the Bhagavad Gita says, not a blade of grass can move without the sanction of the Lord. It's not that the Lord is directly involved, but he uses his energies in order to facilitate the activities of the creation, which are simply dull matter. Although they are created by the Lord, they need to be supported by another energy, and that is the spiritual energy. Although they're spiritual in essence, they take on a different type of activity where they are energized by the source and have no energy of themselves. Prabhupada used very nice examples, both the pregnancy of a woman, as she supplies the ingredients of the body, but it's the man who actually gives the life. So in the same way, here, what is also mentioned, that the potter's wheel, tools, and his clay is not the cause of the pot. It's the potter who uses these things to make the pot. So everything we see or experience is moved by a higher source. So consciousness. Now you might say, well, how does that work? I'm doing things and I'm making things move in different ways based on my activities. Yes, because you are also spiritual. you have some effect that you can also manipulate matter to make it act in a different way. But there is a higher arrangement for that manipulation of matter by the Supreme Lord, and therefore, although you can interfere with the natural arrangements given by the Lord and his control, it cannot remain. Therefore, the material energy has a built-in feature of redirecting itself back to its original systematic order, and that is done by the direction of the Lord, which he inspires the material energy to work in a certain way. A good example would be, let's see, what would be an example of something that we mess up something, but it comes back to its original state after due course of time. We don't mess it up. We just somehow or other have the same potency as the Lord in smaller quantity, and therefore we can also, as spiritual consciousness, we can also manipulate matter to a certain degree, but not to a complete degree. And if the Lord wants, he can also curtail that effect through his through his energies, which work according to his desire, which are all powerful. So what it really says here, yeah, steam, water, and ice. Well, yeah, you can change water into ice, but in due course of time, the ice will come back to its watery state when it's in a different atmosphere. Yeah, nice example. So water is not, and water is ice, but it's at the same time not ice. It's in a different state. Therefore, it cannot act as water in the sense that it doesn't have its liquidity. But when it gets out of that state by the time factor, then it goes back to water, and then it retains its original components and its original nature. So in the same way, we play around with the material energy, but we have no power to control the material energy as the Lord does. We can just manipulate it, and we don't know the results of our manipulations. But because we are spiritual, we have that power, although it comes through the mind, the senses, the intelligence, like that. So the best thing is just to surrender to Krishna, because his arrangements are perfect, both for the creation and for the living beings within creation. If we live according to the laws of God, we actually live happily and successfully. And we can move forward towards the goal of life, which is to awaken our natural love of God. But people don't even know how to live materially. And therefore, they make a mess out of everything. They create all of these unnecessary ingredients to exploit material nature. And therefore, just for the benefit of a few people, the whole world is in what we say in a kind of a dysfunctional situation where there is so much tension and so much competition for manipulation, all at the expense of the happiness of the people in general. So if we live according to the laws of God, then we can live, as it says, Ishavashamidam sarvam yat kinchet jam jagat tena jaktena bundi jaha magridaha kisaswidanam. This verse is from the Sri Ishopanishad's first verse, which says, everything animate and inanimate is owned and controlled to the Lord by the Lord, and one should live according to their designated quota. That means everyone has a quota by which they can live nicely. If one lives accordingly, then it says in the next verse that one can aspire to live for hundreds of years. But nobody knows their quota. Nobody cares about their quota. They think their quota is just getting more and more because there's this false conception. More is better. But more stool is not better than a little stool. In fact, it's even worse. So when you make things more, you don't increase the benefit of having more. It's all about quality and characteristics, not about quantity. So people think if I have more money, if I have more position, if I have more friends, if I have more of any, more becomes the mood. But people become entangled by their own desires and they work hard unnecessarily to accumulate more, which they can't really enjoy. I have examples where one person I know, he was wealthy. He was a businessman. He had an office that he would uh, every day go to in the city, but he had this huge farmland. And but he couldn't do both, so he would hire people to maintain his farmland, and he would pay them. He also let them live on the land, and uh, and just to maintain it. But he would go out and see the land once or twice a year, just to see how things were going. He never got a chance to enjoy his own land because he's so busy in the city making money, absorbed in his, materialistic pursuits. So here's an example. People have a lot, but they enjoy hardly anything. It's like the person who works hard all day, accumulates enough money, buys a big house, and then continues to work hard all day and goes home at night just to fall asleep in the house and do a few other small things. They can't benefit by all the efforts they made to get this big house because they don't have time to use it. And therefore, they're just overwhelmed by their own creations and they simply struggle to find some happiness in something that they can't even experience. But this is material life. And unfortunately, there is a way to live materially where you don't have to get caught up in all of this nonsense or this useless activity. And that is to live according to the laws of God. And God has set a standard for each and every living being how to live happily, where they can have whatever they need to live and at the same time enough time to pursue the goal of life, which is to go back home, back to Godhead. Actually, to work is not the business of a human being. Human beings don't work. Human beings are meant to simply pursue the goal of life. There is a little effort that is needed in order to gather the ingredients you need to live, but that effort is small in proportion to the time period that is available. And therefore, but people work most of the time and waste all of their time and forget about how to enjoy life in a very simply and natural way. And therefore, the goal of life never becomes a feature of their activities. Why? Because they're just wasting time trying to accumulate more things. So it says that one should live simply, depend on nature for everything, and cultivate an environment that is conducive to both simple living and Krishna consciousness. And then uh, there's no need to do anything else because everything will be provided. But people have been indoctrinated by this Western society of materialistic things. The shops are full of junk. There's thousands of malls all over the world full of things that they have created from the exploitation of nature to sell to people. They can't even sell all of the stuff they stock. I don't know what they do with it when they can't sell it. They probably just reduce the price or give it away, or it becomes useless in due course of time. This is a wasted civilization. It's wasteful. And people are wasting their lives So therefore, go back to the land, live more simply, and create community, chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and find enough time to enjoy singing, dancing, taking prasadam, hearing about wonderful philosophy, and realizing your relation with the Supreme Lord, which is the medium by which we can cultivate the consciousness to go back home, back to Godhead, which is the actual goal of life. So even devotees waste time working in the materialistic world for whatever they want. They don't realize that God has created a very simple way to live, but we are also indoctrinated by that same poison that people are being addicted to because we think you got to work because we're part of we take part in the same civilization and we develop the same values that people have. And the whole society is based on selling products that people need and don't need. Most of the stuff we don't need, but if they can sell as much as they can and you can work as hard as you can to get whatever they sell, then they become wealthy, at least theoretically they do. And you just work your whole life trying to maintain yourself, which is so easy. All you need is a little food, some association of other living entities, and the process of Krishna consciousness, and a place to live. Okay, so yeah, um, so God has made it easy, but we have made it difficult. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Marge. Your concluding statement was definitely the summation of how we should live our life. You know, the Lord has made it easy. We just made it so difficult. And it reminds me of Sri Prabhupada when he used to say some of his lectures, simple for the simple, complicated for the complicated.
Yeah, most of us we're complicated because simplicity seems like lack of intelligence, but it's not. It's actually natural.
Thank you, Marge. I'm going to ask Prikshit to stop sharing the um, screen, and I can request devotees to please go to your gallery mode if you can, and please do turn on your videos whenever possible, and questions to be asked. And Sri Devi, it's yours. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Anasuya. Dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, this is such an important topic, and you have explained it so lucidly. My question is this: when we suggest to people, you don't need to work so hard, we can live simply, they are practically outraged by the suggestion itself. You know, what are you talking? I need to work, I need to earn money, I have to do this, I have to do that. And they get practically so angry, just even when you offer them something better. So, in such a scenario, how we can even, tell them that, everything is there in nature. You can live happily, simply. You can live off the land. You can grow your own food. You can live in a simple dwelling. They're just outraged by the idea. So, what is to be done to increase awareness and consciousness, even among devotees? Because they're like, yeah, nice idea, but we'll go along with our program.
So, well, you're just echoing the theme of the modern world, that's all. Like I said, devotees are caught up in the same illusion. But we don't ask people to go back to the farms and simply live simply. We say, you know, as if we develop community amongst devotees, then we can also develop a lifestyle that is, of course, self-sufficient, but at the same time, not like primitive. People think, I'm not going back to the primitive. We're not talking about going back to the primitive. We're talking about taking the basic needs that we need and make them, which are easily available through the material energy, and not having to work hard to achieve to get these things, which are readily available through a little effort in a communal environment. But there's a big force out there that's trying to interrupt any kinds of efforts in that direction by dangling all of the toys in front of people's face that if you have this, then you're up to the standard, you're happy, you can do this, you can do that. They're always coming up with something new. If you become aware of what's happening, you'll see every day there's something new on the market. There's something new on the market. There was a statistics about 200, what was it? About, 25 years ago, the statistic came to my attention. I don't know how much it's changed, but I'm sure it's still similar. And that there in the United States, there's a thing called the Patent Office. Patent, P-A-T-E-N-T, patent. So if anybody wants to put something on the market for selling, they have to get approval from this office. So the statistic is that 250 different items per week come to the patent office for approval on the market. So the market is still always being, what we say, built up with more and more junk. They create 25 different ways to make, glue. You can make glue in 25 different types of ways, so many different kinds of glue, so many different kinds of elastic bands, and so much variety within the same thing that just to expand the variety, they keep making newer things. You have pizza, now you have like hundreds of varieties of pizza, which they call pizza, which is not even pizza, but it looks like pizza. Now this is the few, yeah. Well, as Prabhupada used to say, whatever you walk on your hands, but whatever you do something new. Do something new. Do something new.
Marge,
What
I was curious to go when you mentioned you said 250 per week, right? That's what you were told.
I heard that statistic in 2004. So that was
Marge, I was just curious to know what they do now. It's 3,000 each week.
it is
I just Googled it because I was curious.
3,000 new.
Every Tuesday, they were specific in the day. They said 3,000 new patents every Tuesday.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's not, it's insane, not crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Hare Krishna.
You're still hiring patent examiners. I know that for a fact.
And how long can it go on before it implodes? Because they have to rape the earth in order to get all of these ingredients to make all these things.
Thank you, Marge. Did that help, Sri Devi? Go
Three
ahead, Marge.
3,000. Oh,
And Marge, and it's interesting because because when you said, I was so curious, what's happening now. Because like you said, everything changes. And it said, but they will said it happens every Tuesday at 12:01 a.m. I'm like, whoa, Krishna.
so since 2004, which was 250, to now, so that means it's 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3. It's multiplied 12 times.
12 times. Yes, Marge. 12 times.
Crazy.
Okay.
Shiv Kumarji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. So Maharaj, one question I had this Maharaj on this topic for quite some time. Now speaking of the simple life, we also see the pitfalls of the industrialization and the tools that we keep getting in the name of simplification of life. But at the same time, Maharaj, if I have to look at comparing the lifestyle of 2 or 3 generations back, if I have to use mortar or something to grind the rice flour or something, I just think looking at the physical capacity that has evolved in the human body itself, Maharaj, is it practically possible to kind of get away from the tools that the industries are availing or providing today to go back to such a simple life, Maharaj?
Well, it can be done, but it has to be done by community. If you try to do it alone, you can't. That means you have to create community, which is the basis of the practice of Krishna consciousness. That means devotees, families living together on one piece of land, and then they can use the land to get whatever they need. Just like you can grow castor plants, and then you can make castor oil, and you can light lamps with castor oil. Castor oil is also a great medicine for many ailments also. So this is just a small example of what's available. But you have to do it in community. If you try to do it in just in the nuclear family, you may be able to do it, but it'll be very difficult to sustain. So community supports each other. Devotees support each other in both the work and in labor and in what's the other one? Labor and in commodities. Commodities are produced in a larger sense and traded off within community, and labor is also used to support other things. So shared labor, shared resources, like that. That's human culture. But the capitalistic society has broken that idea that you should live within your little family, husband, wife, kids, in one little box, and you pay all kinds of rent, electricity, gas, and you have to work hard to maintain your place. It's very diabolical what they've created in order to sell products. Because if you have a community, their franchise is going to go down. But if you have individuals, their franchise goes up. Everybody has a car, everybody has a cell phone, everybody has a computer, everybody has what everybody else has, everybody has. So it just spirals itself into becoming more and more hard work for a little gain. That's all. No time for Krishna consciousness. That's the biggest problem. So, in order to make this happen, we as devotees have to create these environments, these arrangements, and show the rest of the world how to live. We're doing it to a small degree, but not in such a way that it's becoming noticeable.
Hope that helped, Prabhu.
Just like the EMF thing. Electromagnetic frequencies. They've created now these big, gigantic electrical towers. And then you have a little box in your house or somewhere within the vicinity of your living area that makes your internet work. So they're making millions, billions of dollars on this. And at the same time, these rays are coming into your environment and causing people fatigue, causing them headaches, causing them sleepless nights. And even in some cases, people are getting very sick because of these EMF. So, and they don't care because they're powerful and you can't fight against them. Either you have it or you don't have it. But we don't need that. Somehow or other people lived without internet years ago. Of course, we can use it to spread Krishna consciousness, like we're doing now. This is the benefit that is, yeah. But as it says, with every creation of something good on the material level, they create problems along with it at the same time. Mhm. The ZMF thing is really deadly. I'm trying to work in such a way in my own place to remove the box from the house, which is a central box because people are around me who use the same box. So I'm in the process of trying to get rid of it. So I can have my own little system which I can plug and unplug according to my, desire. But there are people who can't do that. They are under one control with these big EMF towers and stuff. There was a case in the United States just recently where one apartment building everybody was getting sick because of this EMF tower, big rays that were coming in. So they actually took it to court and tried to stop this tower from functioning, but they lost. They lost the case. So many of them wound up just moving away because people were actually getting very, very sick because of that. So this is one of the biggest problems in the world today, this EMF. And you don't even know. You're actually experiencing fatigue, headaches, and all of these other things, and you're wondering why. It's because of this energy that's there. Stay as far away if you can from these internet boxes which emanate these different rays. I have so much information that people send me about this who are fighting against it, but you can't fight against it because these corporations are too powerful. But there are ways to minimize the effects of these things, but to get rid of it altogether is not possible. So yeah, and so people are just like I just recently, more than 60% of the people in the United States are diagnosed with various types of ailments. And that's what's recorded by the CDC, by the FDA. 60% people are suffering like crazy because of health issues nowadays.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, so unless we go back to a more natural lifestyle, this will continue to spiral.
Hope that helps, Shiva Kumar Prabhu. If you have a backup question, I mean, piggyback, please go ahead, a piggyback question.
That helps. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Did you know in Vedic times there was no such thing as a refrigerator? Did you know you could live without a refrigerator? Whatever you needed for the day, you would get, and then you'd use it that day, and then the next day you'd get whatever you needed for the next day. So
Yes,
there was no question of refrigeration.
Yes, ma'am. Even in my childhood, Maharaj, till my 5th grade, I think we did not have refrigerator at home, Maharaj.
Yeah. So even devotees now experience some of the thing. This thing called the refrigerator. It's the monster in the house. Can't live without it. Somehow people live without it for years.
I just wanted to share, Maharaj, one thing from my health itself. I have had a bacterial infection 10 years back, and I have had a lot of health setbacks for 2 or 3 years. And the doctors, one thing that they advise me is you should not be consuming any stored food. You have to eat fresh food, otherwise it will be very bad for your health. Is the advice that I received.
Yeah, right now the food is so contaminated in the stores.
Mm.
The people are getting sick from eating. So, I mean, just to show you, when you deviate from God's law and you go in a certain direction, the more you go in that direction, the more you create problems until it gets so severe that things actually break down. So how long can it last before things break down?
Thank you so much.
If we're not, we think, well, it's not going to affect me, but it might affect your children. That's the thing. So we should be concerned about them also.
Marge, is it possible sometimes to make, small changes, within our, in our lives, like I was just watching a very nice clip video of the early days of New Vrindavan on Facebook, where devotees were coming together and, plowing, gardening, cooking, like a bunch of devotees. And it was very much, of course, very, very natural at that time. And my mind started thinking, why is it that it's so difficult for for people to go back to that life? And Marge, one thing that crossed my mind, and I wanted you to see if you could speak on that, Marge, is that I think there is some, aside from just the fact of renouncing the material amenities that people think that makes life so easy, I think one other aspect is people have this fear or this block of living communally, because living communally means knowing each other's baggage. You
Well,
know,
we're talking about only devotees can do that. Non-devotees try to live communally, but they don't have a center that keeps them together, that is the force by which they can deal with all of the challenges we have that center, and that's Krishna. Mhm. So it has to be a spiritual community in order to be effective. There's been many of these mundane communities have come and gone in the past, but they can't sustain because they don't have the center. Their center is their ideal to do something together, and they have an idea of how to do it, and they also have an idea of what the results will be. But when they work together, there's always difficulties, obstacles, differences of opinion. We can somehow or other amalgamate or ameliorate these things through the principles of spiritual understanding and how to overcome these things, keeping Krishna in the center, keeping the spiritual master's instructions as the guiding principle. But people in the material world are more or less focused on their self-interest, and therefore, when self-interests clash, then there's no center anymore. To live in
Marge, I think you may. Sorry, Marge, please
to
go
live in
ahead.
community, you have to give up your self-interest for a higher interest, which will include your self-interest.
And Marge, I think the two key points you mentioned is Guru and Krishna in the middle. That's the
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. So that's the binding force.
yes. Is putting the spiritual master and Krishna in the middle. Yes, so true.
Well, we use their knowledge that we get from them to deal with all obstacles and challenges. Whatever we're doing, we focus on the religious principles as a guiding factor, and we use our intelligence in the practical way also. Mhm.
So, Marge, if I can take this question to a different angle, Marge, is how, not just only in a communal living situation, but just in our Krishna consciousness. Even we may not be living in a communal situation, even if we're, the way it is right now, how can we sincerely put Krishna and Guru in the middle?
You create urban communities also. For instance, maybe we got a few online here. Is there any devotees here from Farmington Hills today? Anybody? Any Farmington Hills devotees? Oh,
Bhagyashree Mataji is there, Guru Maharaj.
Rasuri Lasini.
Yeah.
She lives in that area where there's right next to the temple, there's this series of apartment houses, which are also surrounded by a lot of greenery. And I like living there. I like visiting there because it's got the kind of a simple atmosphere, but yet there's all of these nice apartment houses. So in those apartment houses, I don't know, there's at least 25 different families who live in that same area, and they're all devotees. There's more families that live there, but most of the families that live there are devotees. So they've created a community around the temple, and then they can associate with each other in the community, and also, visit the temple and associate and serve with each other in the temple also. So that's the idea. You can get a piece of land, build a temple on the land, and create nice buildings for devotees to live all around the land. Still have your little individual box of family, the wife, children, they have their own little place. But then again, you have everybody around you who are also devotees, and then you support each other just through basic interactions. It's like that. Farmington Hills is a good example. They did something also in where is it? Dallas. In Dallas, where is it? Many of the devotees live
Dallas
right.
has that too, Marge. Yes.
Dallas
Like
has
the
that.
whole
Yeah.
street is like houses of devotees.
Yeah. Also in Los Angeles, the whole street is devotees. So that's second best, but it works.
Thank you, Marge.
But
Srimati?
the
Sorry,
idea is
Marge.
not to get too dependent on the outside world for our needs. If we do, we might find ourselves in want after a certain period of time.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. As I have almost the same question as Anasuya Mataji was asking. So when we before coming into Krishna consciousness, we have our own ideas, we have our own strategies with dealing with people. But after coming into Krishna consciousness also, we are not purified that much. So we'll use the same strategies or same mentality here in Krishna consciousness or dealing with the devotees. So, and when we are trying to live in a community, even though we are making Krishna as the center, but all the time we don't have that much strong desire, and we just come up with our own mentalities, our own strategies, previous things, and deal with the devotees, which will hurt the devotees, or they don't want to live with us. Or like that situations will come up. So
Well,
that people
that
are
means
afraid.
in essence, then they're really not devotees.
Yeah.
Devotee means one who likes to serve others, likes to serve the Lord. That's a devotee. Devotee means devoted. You can use the word in a very loose way. If we're full of envy, lust, greed, and the same anarthas that the world has, then how can we call ourselves devotees? We were trying to be devotees, but we haven't made it yet.
Yeah. Yes, Maharaj.
A
So,
devotee is a person that'll do anything for you. All you have to do is ask them. They'll do anything. If you ask a devotee, can you do this for me? They'll say, when do I start? That's a devotee. Devotees like to serve devotees. Devotees look for other opportunities to serve others. That's a devotee.
so Maharaj, as we are
They're
trying to
not
be devotees,
self-centered. They're community-centered. They're God-centered. They're people-centered. They're not self-centered. That's a devotee.
yes, Maharaj. So as we
Well,
are trying to become
you see that
devotees,
in your communities, you have people like that, and you
yes.
have people, as you described also. So there's a mixture there. And because of you have people who are selfless and are working in that way, something is going on nicely, and many people are benefiting. But for the other group, they're just, sneaking in, getting a little bit of spiritual activities, and then, more or less interested in their own. Yeah, we just took the seminar on Manashiksha, the different kinds of householders, the the materialistic householder. Although wears tilak but still has a very materialistic outlook in life.
So, Maharaj, so then we are little afraid to come as a community and do the things towards the simple living or high.
Don't be afraid. You just be yourself. Don't worry about everybody else. You have to take care of yourself.
Okay.
You be who, and you try to be ideal in your own Krishna conscious. That's all. If we're affected by all of these other things, then how are we gonna grow in our own spiritual life? So we avoid people who are like that. And if we can't avoid them, we somehow or other tolerate it. Just like who's that lady that's in the Dallas temple? I forgot her name. She's a Prabhupada disciple. She's been there for like 30 years or more.
Sucharya Mataji?
Huh?
Sucharya?
She
Sucharya.
she just runs around serving everybody.
Yeah.
That's all she does. She's always seeing what's needed to be done, and she's serving. Yeah, so she's elderly too. She's in her 50s or 60s, right? But she's happy because she's just serving. That's Krishna conscious. Not the ones who sneak in on the weekends and get a little prasadam and offer a few pranams to the deities and then go home. That's not a devotee.
Okay. Got it, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
But we allow
Maharaj,
so many people to come in. Hopefully, they will evolve through the process of Krishna consciousness. But we have to protect ourselves from people who are self-motivated. Prabhupada would say one thing: the disease is self-interest. If you're self-interested on a material level, you cannot perform devotional service, and you pollute the environment also. Devotees have to be free from this idea that what am I getting out of Krishna conscious? That's the devotees should be thinking, how can I serve? That is a devotee, not what am I getting? You'll get everything you need through the service. When Krishna sees that you're serving, and he's going to give you everything you need and more. You're happy. He'll provide it. But if you're making your own plans for your own happiness and doing a little bit here and there just to make yourself look like a devotee, then you're not really up to the standard at all, or not even close to the standard. Devotee means he wants to serve. That's what it means to be a devotee. How can I serve? When Prabhupada said, I never asked so many questions to my spiritual master. I asked him one question: how can I serve you? That's a devotee. Because that service is the essence of our happiness. It's the essence of our existence. We resonate with service. And when that service is directed to Krishna and his devotees, and even to people in general, then that soul flourishes and grows in their own spiritual, acumen. They develop nicely. They're happy.
Marge, you so nicely, wonderfully made gave a beautiful definition of who and what is a devotee. Like so simple that I was going to go to Sadhvi's question before I ask my question, Marge, because it's been there for like 10 minutes, so I don't want to ignore her. She said, Hare Krishna, please forgive me for asking out of the topic. She wants to know, Marge, if you can explain the difference between part and parcel expansions of the Supreme Lord.
What is the comparison?
I think because she said to may I humbly ask the difference between part and parcel to the expansions of the Supreme Lord.
Well,
Yes. She said yes to your question, Mark. She said yes.
I think she means between the Jiva soul and the Vibhinamsha and the Jiva Amsha. I think that's what she means. Super soul and the
Lord expands in different manifestations. He has his Vishnu expansions, he has his other expansions. There's different categories of expansions, but they're all part and parcel. Categories of expansions are for different functions, but all are spirit soul. They're all part and parcel of the original source.
I hope that helps, Sadhvi. If you have more questions, please do post it and I will be happy to read your question. Or if you need more clarification.
Who asked the question?
Sadhvi?
Sadhvi. Okay. I don't see any Sadhvi here. Maybe it's on the next one.
Yeah, I think it's the next on my screen, Marge, it's on page 2.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Sadhvi.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the best I can do.
Marge, when you piggybacking on Srimati's questions, very, very nice. Marge, you were saying, a devotee, it comes from the word devoted, right? And you explain as one who wants to serve, and then you went on saying it's not just, coming in on Sunday and sneaking in and doing something and taking the burfi and, whatever and leaving. So Marge, how can we really understand that a devotee means one who is readily ready to serve, and it's not what is it in it for me, or what will I get from it, or like how can it not be all that but just because I want to? How can we get to that stage, Maharaj?
It's based on knowledge. When you know that your nature is to serve, no one can deny their own existence. All living entities are serving. In the material world, they're serving. In the spiritual realm, they're serving. In the material world, they're motivated by service and by gain through service. In the spiritual world, they're motivated to please the object of who they're serving. So the motivation's different, but everyone's serving. So, but in the spiritual realm, because it's your nature to serve, you actually connect with yourself and you feel happy. The service is the source of the soul's existence. Jiva Sarupai, Krishna Nityadas. We are eternally servants of Krishna, And we also can serve Krishna by serving his parts and parcels. So what else can you do? You're going to work, you're serving your boss. You're coming home, you're serving your family. You're going to the store, you're serving, your senses to get something. Everyone's serving something. All activities are are done in a mood to gain something. But in spiritual life, the gain is the activity. That's the point. By serving, you're happy. By serving, you gain knowledge. By serving, you please Krishna. By serving, you enjoy life.
Thank you, Marge. That was, yeah, really
I mean,
powerful. Thank
that's our nature. What else can we do? if you try to put a square peg in a round hole,
you.
it may not fit. If you try to Ekala Isha Krishna Asabrita, there's only one master, that's Krishna. And he's serving also. See, Srila Prabhupada used to say, I see all my disciples as representatives of my spiritual master. They are actually my spiritual master because in order for me to serve my spiritual master, he has sent me all of these disciples. So I am serving them. Therefore, I'm serving my spiritual master when I'm serving my disciples. Think about that one.
Very deep, Maharaj. Very deep.
No, it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada
Wow.
said that. My spiritual master has
Yes.
given me the order to preach, and I'm trying to carry out his order, and therefore he's sending me these persons so I can preach to. Therefore, they are his representatives, and therefore I'm serving him by serving my disciples.
That was that yeah, Marge, and I think
It's real. It's not just some play on words. It's real.
Marge, I think if we can carry that within our hearts and our minds, it can definitely break the ego.
That's the idea. In the Vrindavan, everyone is trying to serve Krishna, and Krishna is also trying to reciprocate with everyone by accepting their service and by reciprocating their service. Therefore, he's reciprocating their service in the mood of service. Radharani knows nothing but serving Krishna, and Krishna is completely satisfied when Radharani serves him, and all he wants to do is serve her to exchange the love that she gives him through her service. When somebody does something for you, you also feel grateful and you want to reciprocate. So that's the law of nature. So if we're serving, don't think we're losing something. We're actually gaining everything we need and more, both on the subtle level and then on the gross level also. Look at Sri Devi. She's traveling all around the world preaching.
Just
serving.
enjoying, aren't you, Sri Devi? You're having a blast.
Yeah, she's like, this old lady, and she's serving her, she's running around, and she gets everything she needs to do with her service, and she's happy doing the service. I know she's happy. If I try to keep her in Mayapur, she just wants to run away and run around the world and preach. That's fantastic. We need at least 1,000 Sri Devis.
She can be the next Narada Muni, right, Sri Devi? Traveling around the world and preaching.
Yeah. She's been in California, in Dallas, and now she's in North Carolina, all within 2 weeks. Maybe you can invite her up to Harrisburg too.
Maharaj, I was about to just speak that. You took it right out of my mouth, Maharaj. Sri Devi, how can you forget me, Sri Devi?
Oh, she'll be very successful with charming your congregation there.
I would love to have her. Sri Devi, how can you forget me, Sri Devi? We go way back.
Yeah, really, to the turn of the century.
Maharaj, you're right, Maharaj. Exactly.
Yeah, actually, that's where she started. She started in Gita Nagari.
So please don't wait for the next turn of the century to come to Harrisburg. Come on, Sri Devi.
No, make
It's
some, yeah, get together, make some plans, and she'll find some time in her schedule to come and see you. It's
You'll
not
have to you'll have to talk to the president of Ljubljana Temple, because that's where I'm next headed, and he'll be, I don't know how he will look at it if I say, okay, I'm coming after some time. I don't know.
I do it.
Okay.
Just go there a little later. That's all.
Okay. All right, Ansia, we'll talk about it after this class.
Yeah.
thank you.
Sri Devi, I mean,
Haribol.
Anasuya needs people to come and preach there. She really does.
Oh,
Yeah, but she has a nice congregation. She's struggling to keep it going.
sure,
Yeah,
Guru Maharaj. If it's your order, I will do it.
yeah, I think it would be a good idea, especially for Anasuya. She really would appreciate a lot. And the people you would talk to, you could make some really nice connections there also.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
You don't have
I
to go
need,
you don't have to go for more than 2 or 3 days. And
yeah.
that's all. And then you can do it, you can go as long as you want, but if the schedule is tight, fit in a few days there. That's all.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Because I definitely need another female spiritual warrior with me, Sri Devi. This warrior here,
I'm just a little squirrel next to you.
no,
Huh?
no, 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 no.
I'm just a little sparrow next to the Garuda. What can I
No,
do?
no, no, no,
But
no.
because Guru Maharaj is saying, now I have to do something.
Absolutely not at all. I am not at all that. I'm definitely one of the ant crawling right in front of my house, right there.
Okay. A lot
Devi,
of
it's your question. Go ahead.
It's really interesting that we are having this wonderful discussion, Guru Maharaj, with your enlightenment for us, because today again, going to be doing a seminar, Davi Varnashram farm communities are our future, like that. So I'm just thinking, here's a bunch of computer engineers in front of me. They're, hooked to their gadgets, their lifestyle, everything. And I'm telling them, farm communities are the future. Your children will grow nicely. Think about it now. A wise man plants trees for his grandchildren. That's the saying, even in India, etc., etc. And they're just looking, they're nodding their heads. I said, are you having a decent lifestyle that's conducive to your Krishna consciousness? No, we are hooked into this, running around, doing so many things, but we don't know what to do. Take us out of here, give us a piece of land, we'll all be staring at one another. And that
Well,
is true.
from what I know, they just got a piece of land in just recently. Abhiram Saka got some land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, check with him. He's right there. He's the head of the community there where you are.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I will talk to them.
He just invited me this year. I wasn't there last year. He said, come, we have a nice piece of land we want to develop now. So there's a start there. But obviously he'll need more people to get on board. And the situation in the United States is really horrendous now. I'm talking to people who never talk about politics or economics, and they're just fried about what's happening now. Inflation is like skyrocketing. Oh,
Marsh, there's a question here in the chat from Dear Krishna. She's asking, Marsh, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Shri Prabhupada, all glories to you. One of the symptoms of seva attitude is covering services end to end. Dear Krishna knows that pretty well. How can we encourage ourselves and others to develop that attitude. Otherwise, it just becomes a ritualistic duty and not much helpful in developing love for Krishna and the devotees.
That requires management. The managers should make sure that the service goes on and everyone is engaged nicely, and no one is overburdened with so much service. That requires organization and management. That has to be there. Yeah. The managers must see what services need to be done and what people are available, and then designate and inspire people. And not only to inspire and designate, but to facilitate the services to go on, what we say, effectively. So that requires management.
I hope that helped there, Krishna Prabhu. You can respond in chat when you get a chance. Damodar, go ahead.
He's from your group now, Damodar, right?
Yes, Marsh, the one that you have rascal in your cell phone, that one.
Okay.
Go ahead, Damodar.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I will just I wanted to ask a follow-up question. So what happens many times is that Mataji wants to relieve some of the devotees from their services and try to distribute the services, but it again comes down to very few people, very few devotees who really want to take it up, and it again it's only few people are too much burdened with I don't feel the burden, but many times I have seen devotees getting into health struggles and everything
Yeah,
in their
well,
life.
that means we have to preach. Preaching will bring in people, will bring people closer to, preaching and then engaging. If you bring Sri Devi in there, she'll preach a little and she'll inspire people to take up more responsibility. So you need preachers. If you don't have enough preachers, then things won't really develop. Management, and Prabhupada said, management follows preaching as a shadow follows the person. So if you're not preaching enough and you're simply trying to manage and organize the temple and the services, and you'll see people will come and go accordingly. But preaching will inspire people. Therefore, we need to educate people. We need to preach. We need to also bring in new people through preaching.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, so focus on preaching and not so much just running around trying to get the services done.
And also sometimes I have seen devotees tend to do their own sadhana more, giving more importance to their sadhana. I'm not sure how to take care of these things. Many times I have seen devotees they are doing a lot of extra rounds and doing a lot of extra reading and this and that, and there is service in the temple, and Mataji has to give it to only a few people. So I'm not sure what is
I just gave you the formula. You got to preach. If any place where there's preaching going on, there's no problem. But if you're not preaching or not preaching enough, then you'll just wind up trying to manage, and then it becomes difficult. Prabhupada had, classes every day, preaching. He wrote books. He gave us so much knowledge through Shastra, through personal realization. Yeah. It's all about preaching. Sometimes you have to slow down on the management and just put more energy into preaching. Managing doesn't mean to go look around and see who's available and give them something to do. Management means to inspire people to come forward and take up services. And that means a manager is like a preacher also. Now, preach.
Thank you, Marge. Got your answer, Damodar? Preach.
I'm talking to you, Anandasuya.
Marge, I preach. Marge, I used to always think that well, I don't think that's a very good idea, but if there was another Anasuya, that would probably help. But I don't think they want another Anasuya in the temple. It'll be chaotic.
Example. Philadelphia Temple back in the days of Prabhupada. Many devotees in the temple. Temple was a rental building. The rent was due. $250 was needed for the next month's rent. The money was not there. There was nothing. They didn't have any money. The next day, the rent was due. Temple president was thinking, how can we raise this money? And back in the 70s, $250 is not like $250 now. It's like $10,000 now. Almost. So what he did was he sent all the devotees out on Sankirtan. He kept one or two devotees back to maintain the deities. And he sent the whole temple out to do Harinam Sankirtan. He said, I'm not going to worry about the rent. I'm just going to go out and Sankirtan. So they were out on Sankirtan and they were chanting. And then during the kirtan, one very respectable gentleman, nicely dressed, suit and tie, he comes up to one devotee and he says, here, I want to give this to you. And so he hands her an envelope and then he disappears. Nobody sees him again. They opened the envelope, $250 in the envelope. Exactly. That is the story. So what am I telling you? Preach. Don't stay within the confines of the building and expect things to happen. It won't happen. You got to make efforts to reach out. And we're not preaching to get money. We're preaching to inspire people to take up Krishna consciousness. Money will follow that. Krishna is Dhananjaya. He's a conqueror of wealth. If we're pleasing Krishna by bringing more people into Krishna consciousness, he will make arrangements through his different energies to give us all the money we need and more.
Thank you, Marge. Yes.
This is a fact over and over again. It happens. It's a continuous principle that when people preach, money comes.
Yes, Marge, that is by the mercy and help of Radhe Shyam Prabhu from Chaupati, from Pune. He inspired two of his devotees from New York, and with both of them from the BYOS, with Damodar, we actually successfully, took us a couple of years, but when we asked for their help, it really helped. We started a pretty grassroots successful level of university preaching at Penn State Harrisburg. It's been going Pretty well. Pretty good.
Good.
And
Good.
Damodar is the one that takes care of that service.
Nice. Yeah. Actually participated in that program also. I went twice
Yes.
to Penn State. Sri Devi, she's a product of Penn State. I found her sitting in a classroom. Pulled her out of the classroom, said, "What are you doing? You're wasting time here."
Thank you for saving me, Guru Maharaj.
So you can bring her back to Penn State.
Yeah. It's been going well. You know, the kids, I think we get about 17, 14 to 17 students for these sessions. It was really good. So that was definitely, you know, there's some slow organic growth.
Good.
You know,
And if you get to inspire some of the congregational members on the weekend to do book distribution, that will inspire more people to come, take interest,
yes. And Harinam.
and Harinam.
And
Harinam,
Harinam. That's
Harinam book distribution is the inviolable way to successfully preach Krishna consciousness, especially book distribution. Okay, so
Damodar. You have a question, Damodar, or you're
how
done?
we doing on time here?
Time is flying, Maharaj, but it's your call.
I don't have a watch in front of me. What time is it now?
Well,
In one
here
and a
is
half hour.
we've gone an hour and a half, Maharaj.
Okay. All right, let's take one more question and then we can break.
Okay, Damodar, go ahead with yours.
All right, Krishna Maharaj, thank you. Just a quick question. You were talking about, like, Prabhupada had Bhagavatam classes and all, the whole daily program, like starting from Mangalarti and going through the day with Bhagavatam and evening Bhagavad Gita classes. So could you like focus, like, or elaborate on the importance of like attending these classes and all the programs that we have, so that devotees are encouraged to take up and, like, make out some time to join for these classes.
No, well, it's obvious. Just do it. So what can I say? The people who do it will benefit, and if anybody else comes, they'll also benefit. I think we try to put the cart before the horse. We pay, we ask people to surrender before we give them an inspiration on how they can surrender. We shouldn't think, oh, it's your duty. But no, we should think, what do we need to do to inspire them to come forward and be more interested in the philosophy, more interested in the association, more interested in the programs that are being held. So all of that is what you need to do. That's what Prabhupada came to give us. He did it himself, and he showed us how to do it.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hope that helped, Damodar.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Yes.
do it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Don't expect results as soon as you begin,
yeah.
but just work at it and you'll get results. If you're sincere, you'll get results.
Yeah. I always like want to inspire more than put it like a duty bound thing. So
No, people don't respond to that. It's not the way to preach either. We know it's true, but people have to be somehow or other attracted. And we have to create that attraction through our programs, through our outreach. And Krishna consciousness is all attractive.
Thank you, Maharaj. If there are no questions, and Maharaj said this is the last question, and we'll take a break. Maharaj, would you like to do one round of chanting, or do you have an appointment you have to go to?
I'd like to do both. Let's see. All right, just to end on a sweet note, we'll do some chanting.
All right, Maharaj. Haribol.
I'll be right back with my beads.
All right, Maharaj.
This she's seven humble obeisances, glory to Srila Prabhupada. Sri Devi Mataji made you co-host. Maharaj likes some pictures of Radha and Krishna, the way you do it. So you can get on that. I made Mataji co-host
Yeah,
also.
she has really beautiful pictures. So if Srimati wants to share, that's also fine. Guru Maharaj is
Yeah.
also thrilled with the pictures that I have somehow.
Okay,
Srimati,
so
you want to share?
Mataji, go ahead.
Sri Devi, you'll really like Harrisburg. It's really, I like it. When I go there, I really find it a place that I can, feel like this is nice. The deities are nice there. Gornitai are beautiful. Really beautiful Gornitai deities.
Yes.
Maharaj, when you coming, Maharaj?
You always make your Rath Yatra too late for me. 'Cause
Oh, March. It's always it's always been the third Saturday of the month, the week before Gitanagri Rath Yatra.
July.
Let's see. So I have to be in the UK on the 19th, which is the same day as your Rath Yatra.
Oh man,
Okay,
Krishna
and that-
Chaitanya, smack on that day. Okay.
Yeah, because the 20th is the biggest Rath Yatra in Europe, and that's the London Rath Yatra.
Look at Silpesh. We gotta talk, Silpesh Prabhu.
So if you make it the week before, which is Gita Nagari Rath Yatra, is the week before?
No,
No,
that's
the
week
week
after.
before is Toronto. That's the biggest, and devotees go there like mad. And like,
Yeah, I'm not going this year, but so if that weekend is open for me.
okay, Marsh, we have already booked the date for the Rath Yatra like 6 months back with the city, so we are not able to change it. But March, I heard that you are going to be coming for Bhaktivedanta Swami's program in Gitanagari for 3 days.
End of June.
Yes. Will you be will you be in the area before that weekend or after that weekend?
Not after, but before.
Can we plan something, Marge?
Let's see. When I get to that area, I'll contact you and we can discuss it.
Okay, Marge. And Marge, you'll be coming to US soon? Like next month?
Well, I fly on the 14th of May to Pittsburgh.
Okay, then when you come, Marge, we can talk. We can talk and we can.
I'm in Pittsburgh on the 15th, the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. I'm in Cincinnati, 20, 21, and 22. I'm in Columbus. 23, we fly to Orlando for Sadhu Sangha. After Sadhu Sangha, one day in DeLand. And then after DeLand, we go to Dallas for a week.
So after Dallas, up until the last month of June.
Then in
Okay.
Dallas, after Dallas is a little break, and then there's also the New York Rath Yatra on the first week of June, first weekend in June, I think.
Second weekend, June 14th.
Oh, it's 14th?
Yes, Marge.
You sure?
Absolutely sure. They have
Uh-oh.
been advertising it for June 14th, which is the second Saturday. They always have it on the second Saturday.
Oh, the 7th, I thought it was the Rath Yatra. Okay, that conflicts with my appointment in North Carolina, so I have to do some adjustment here. Okay.
So which means, March, the third weekend in June, you're open, like the weekend before
No,
Gitanagari?
that's Chicago Ratha Yatra.
And
Plus,
after that, up until the weekend, you're open
no,
before.
there's other things in between. Boston is there.
Oh, Krishna. Okay.
Anyway, let's see. We'll
I'm-
find some time.
Thank you,
Really?
Maharaj. Please,
We
please.
are late, I guess.
Anasia, real quick, how far is Charlotte from Harrisburg?
It's a distance. It's about 6-7 hour drive.
I mean, it's only maybe about an hour flight, right?
Oh, flying. Yeah, flying is like an hour. Yeah, yeah.
Supposing I come on the night of May 4th, stay for a day, and come back to Charlotte to catch my flight, will that help?
Yeah, let's talk about the flight details after this clause so we can get to see how to make it work. Call me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jai Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Ram. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hare Krishna, Krishna 4. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare.
Is Maharaj there or is she gone? Maharaj is there?
Maharaj left the call, Prabhuji.
Okay. All right. So we can wrap up then. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Srimati, would you like to? Oh, we are ending the call?
Yes, Mataji.
Whatever. What would you rather do? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought we were chanting for a little while, but it's okay.
Okay. That's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unmute then.
Jai Shri Krishna,
And
Chaitanya,
yeah.
Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Parikshit Prabhu, would you like to lead the chanting?
Maybe you should. I don't know. If you want me to, I will, but it's up to you.
Yeah, go ahead and chant for us, please.
Okay. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasam Guru Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama Ram Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Om Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakti. Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees, for staying on, chanting a little more. Hare Krishna. Very nice lecture by Maharaj, as we all know. If you want to continue chanting, you can, but I think we can also stop. It's past the hour. So we stop here. Have a wonderful, wonderful Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhishcha kripasindhibhi cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Parikshit Prabhu and Anastasia for hosting this wonderful call from Guru Maharaj. So much enlightenment, so much illumination, so much mercy.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're very fortunate. Hare Krishna. Now we know what to do in Harrisburg also. And I'm glad you're coming. It's been a long time. You've been hiding from us.
Believe me, I'm not hiding from you, Parikshit Prabhu.
I know. But I'm excited though.
Okay,
I'm excited for you.
Let's see how to make it work because this is Guru Maharaj's order. So now I have to try my level best to come.
Yeah. But I know some devotees, they were very excited when you come to preach. I just, from knowing them, the devotees here.
Yeah, so, I know. Brett will be jumping up and down. Yeah.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
I'll call you after this call.
Sure. Okay. Hare Krishna. Go to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.